Hello, and welcome to this live stream of EURUSD. Currently looking at the market to see what direction to trade in. Hello, welcome. So I'm looking at EURUSD, and I know it's kind of late. Hopefully we aren't having any technical issues. Hopefully your screen is showing clearly without skipping is what I'm intending to have happen here. Now the 1 hour chart it's in a weird position. It's you can see we have a lot going on here on the 1 hour chart. A lot of uncertainty, a lot of the trend is very unclear on the 1 hour, but that's how it looks. At the same time, we can still make decisions though, because we can see that we're making lower highs. We have lower highs on the indicator. We have the 30 minutes setting up to sell. The 15 minute is ready to sell, but we want to wait for the 30 minute to agree with that. Now we know that the 1 hour chart is going to hold the 30 minute down just based off of its position. So we have this back and forth going on because the 30 minutes ready to sell, but the 15 is ready to sell, and the 30 minute isn't. So we want to see this 30 minute chart weaken a little bit, and then we can go from there. Now where the indicator is on the 1 minute chart, we are, according to this chart, more likely to go into support resistance as long as it crosses to the upside. But we know that's not going to happen because the 5 minute just failed to the upside and the 30 minute is holding it down. So a good entry point will be marked on my chart with a red line. And ideally, we either want to trade this failure to the downside on the 5 minute, or we want to wait for a retest on the 1 minute. Which, seeing that we're several minutes behind this point, this red line on the chart, most likely a retest will be the best trade to take at this point. Especially since the indicator is already extended to the region, the space of the indicator where it can be considered oversold. But we know that this is the beginning of this move to the downside. We know that we're going to have some retests in here because all of these charts are basically saying sell, or they're saying they're getting ready to sell. If you look at the 30 minute chart, we're just a couple of candles into this move to the downside, and on the 1 hour chart, we're just now we're 2 minutes away from closing this first bearish candle. So what we could see in 2 minutes at the top of the hour is we could see the 1 hour get stronger to the downside, which would be, that would be a good thing. It'd be confirming that we are going to continue to drop prices. We're well below the average on the 5 minute, And we are in the area of the chart that can be considered oversold. So we want to be careful about trading this short, in that it could pop up. There is a chance for that. So we want to just make sure that timing the entry of this trade is accurate. So I'll give this a few minutes. I'm just going to watch it. We also have a buy signal on this 1 minute chart, but we're going to ignore that as long as the higher time frames are saying sell, as long as we're in a downtrend on the higher time frame charts. And that trade just closed, so as soon as that leans over, okay, right here, the 1 hour just got stronger, the 30 just got stronger, everything just got stronger. So I'm waiting. I'm just looking for this 1 minute chart, basically, to lean over. You could see that it was turned down, and sort of how it turned down one time already. It tried to do that again, and then it popped back up. So we're gonna let this finish doing whatever it has to do on this, you know, and pop up however far it wants. Once it leans and we see a red candle, if everything else is saying sell, which it's going to be, then we want to sell it. Now it may come into this moving average, it may come just above it, just below it, right to it. This candle's backing up on the 1 minute. I'm just gonna double check this and make sure that I'm looking at this. Lower, high, higher. Now I really want to watch this 1 minute and this 5 minute chart, because the 15 is saying sell, the 30 is saying sell, especially if we see it cross through. The 1 hour is saying sell. Let me check the 4 hour. It's pulling back, and the daily is giving it permission. We have a little bit of a red candle on here. The indicator is just around the 50, or you could call that the zero line, zero level. So I'm watching it closely because we do have slope to the upside, but everything is going to hold the price down for the most part. Now this 5 minute chart is weakening, giving some permission to that 1 minute chart to move, and it is moving off the bottom, so it's raising price. I have my app. I have my phone in my hand and my app is open. I'm ready to take a trade if this continues, if this shows me that it's going to continue to the downside. Now, if I look at the 15-minute chart, we're at the moving average, and it looks like we're coming off of here with somewhat of an engulfing or somewhat of a piercing pattern. We have about 10 minutes till that closes. If it closes more than halfway into this bearish candle that closed just before, then that could be signaling to buy. And we also have room to the upside on the 5-minute chart, so possibility of seeing some sideways action here. Showing green on the 1 hour. It's already pretty far extended into the lower region, the negative trending side of the indicator, meaning it could already be showing us that it's rejecting these lower prices. So even if the 30-minute crossed through, it'd be so close to support that it could bounce right off. We have a piercing candlestick pattern on the 5-minute, and it appears to be closing, or it appears to be halfway to the halfway into the price of the candle before it, about 5 minutes before. So it just closed. It looks like it could be signaling buy, and now that I look at the indicator, it's curved up. We have low, higher, low, low, higher, low. I'm ready to take a trade. I'm just also ready to make sure that when I do trade this, that everything is agreeing and moving in favor. Now, this is most likely to come into support. It's more likely to come into support, but it looks like we may want to wait. We may be at a position where we're going to watch this 5-minute and trade the 5-minute in the direction of these other 3 time frames. And I hope that makes sense. If anybody has any questions, feel free. I'm just going to watch it here for just a sec and see what it is that we're going to do here. Everything is saying sell, but I know that when that 5-minute makes a move, it's got a little bit of momentum behind it, and it's currently crossing through. So I'm going to need for that to lean over. I'm going to need for it to show me some weakness, basically, in order to trade this, in order to sell at this price. So the 1 minute is extended into the oversold region. Percent D, the green line, is currently up above 0. So that means we're gaining in momentum if to the upside. If the 1 minute blue line, percent K, pulls back, we could see it fail to the downside, and price could continue up from here into the average on the 5-minute chart. Looks like but if you look at the indicator, the green, percent D, is making a low, lower low. So it's forecasting. It's telling me what I'm interpreting here is that it's telling me that it's going to drop back down. That's currently what I'm seeing. If I just look at the next, at the most previous, the prior low on the indicator. If I take into account the low before that one, then it's telling me to buy. So we're rejecting higher prices currently. You can see because we have this red coming down. We have a minute left to get into this trade. But when this is sloping up as high as it is, And the 5-minute, well, really when you think about it, the 5-minute hasn't really moved much. It's curved, it's curled, but it hasn't really made its way up. Why? Well, because the 15, 30, and the 1 hour are holding it down. So really all I need is for this 1 minute to cross. I'm very tempted to sell it right here. I can see that this bullish or this bearish candle is starting to form on the 5-minute chart. "16 seconds left. I don't want to throw my money away." We're right above the average. The 5-minute is still pointed up, and it's really hard to see what it's doing. If it's going to pop up and hold price. We're curling over here on the 1 minute, or if it's going to back off. It's popped up, it's popped through. I just sold this at 523, and on this candle here. So right here at this intersection. And I knew there was a chance for that to happen. I reacted while the indicator was extended into the oversold region and more likely to come into resistance. I'd really like to see this price hold below this level.